Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all doing good on today? Yeah, I don't really have too much to say. I know, like, when I be talking to I have vision and dreams, and my daughter, she had open revelations. So when I be talking to her, I don't really talk to her to be like, okay, God, what's going on? I really be like talking to her like, oh, you heard this, you heard that, you heard what's going on. And every time in the middle of our conversation, God always like intervene and take over the conversation at some point. So this time it wasn't no different than the other time. So when I be like, oh, my daughter had open revelations, I really do be talking to my daughter or trying to talk to my daughter about what's going on in the world. And in the middle of me always talking to her about what's going on in the world, she always start having these open revelations where God is talking to her directly. So that's how it be. You know, when I be talking to my daughter, I really do be like, hey, you see this? You heard about this? And sometimes, every time I start out a conversation with her, most of the time, God starts speaking and start saying stuff dealing with whatever it is going on, as far as like, ooh, you see this, ooh, you see that. Then if me and her just regularly talking to each other, then, you know, she'll start just out the blue having these random conversations. And today was no different. So so she actually brought up the submarine. So she kind of texted me like, hey, mama, you heard about the people in the submarine? And I was like, yeah. You know, I was like, they saying they dead. You know, that's what they were saying. And as we was conversating, she was like, God said that. Now, I don't know what's going on now with it. But when I was talking to her about all that, she kept saying that God said that they still alive. They were still alive. And you know, he was speaking on, that what she was saying, like this. That's what she was saying, and the chances are slim. I already know the chances are slim. But when I was having this conversation with her, that's what she was saying. Like, I'm like, whether everybody's saying, you know, based on just everything going on, that these people are basically dead. And during that time, she was saying that, you know, they are not dead yet. And she said something about once the people lose hope. She said something like that too. Once the people lose hope. And she was speaking on it from from that angle. Because every time you look on the news, everything you see, you getting less. If you had hope, you losing less and less hope based on the circumstances. You like, okay, they got 96 hours of oxygen. And then when you get down 96 hours of oxygen, you know, they're talking about, okay, the 96 hours up. So people lose hope at that point. People just lose hope at that point based on, you know, what they putting out there and the statistics and the fact that, okay, chances are getting lower and lower and slim and slim. But, you know, that's what she was speaking on earlier. And then, you know, I was just like kind of mentioning that they saying that they found like the debris and stuff that there was with that was associated with it. I'm like, they finally saying that they found some of the debris for the submarine that was going on. And yeah. And so at that point, she was saying that if the people heard them, if the people heard the banging, that means they was close by to the people. Down in your eye. She was like, if they was able to hear the banging from the submarine, then they was close by to the people. Now, I don't know, you know, what's going on now with the outcome of that. I'm just speaking on conversation that we were having, an open discussion that just jumped into the conversation while we were talking about these people in the submarine. And while we were talking about these people in the submarine, God started speaking. And God started speaking in the middle of our conversation. And God said, nobody in this submarine prayed to him. And nobody in this submarine cried out to him. He said, all them people in the submarine with everything going on, he said, nobody prayed to him. And he said, nobody cried out to him. And that just was sitting in my spirit right now. That, you know, all these people, even with everything going on, God is saying that they didn't even cry out or pray to him, you know. But at that point, when I was talking to my daughter, he was saying that they still alive. So, you know, and then he also was speaking on leave the dead alone. I said, I already know. Everybody trying to resurrect the dead. It's a reason why it's dead. It's a reason why them ancient gods with a lowercase g, all that's buried. Everybody resurrecting it, digging up the grave, trying to bring everything back to life. Is a reason why. It's a reason why. But she spoke on that too. She spoke on the fact of, leaving the dead alone. I said, I already know. Because they was really going to look at the submarine, and it's just like, and I was just telling her that one of the people who was actually a part of that trip, I was telling them that they was actually related to somebody who actually died in the Titanic. I said maybe they wanted closure about what happened, so that's why they were just so driven to go on this trip, just to find out what was going on with it. But she didn't really say too much. She did say what I just said at the time. Now I don't know what's going on now with all that, but he spoke on the people losing hope. And people losing hope is he was just saying like it was gonna impact like the outcome at a certain point. He like people still got hope, so they still alive. He said when the people lose hope, and when every time you look on news, they make you lose hope by, okay, 96 hours up, okay, they dead. But they did say they found particles, and when they were saying they found particles and stuff like that, that's what she was saying, that, God was just speaking, and he said that nobody cried out to him and nobody prayed to him in that submarine. So that's just like heavy on my spirit right now. That's like sitting heavy on my spirit. So that's why I was just like doing a quick video, just speak on it real quick and what was revealed, dealing with that, so to speak, a little bit. I don't really talk about everything that I talk to about my daughter and everything that God say in response to everything that's going on. I really don't do that because it's very controversial. What God got to say about the whole situation is going to be very controversial. Because God, your feelings out the situation, so he going to speak truth. And it's very controversial for a lot of people to even accept the truth. So I listen to what God say, and I receive and believe the truth in my heart. But everybody ain't too receptive of the truth, So I'm just speaking a little bit about what he was saying, dealing with that right there, about how nobody cried out that was on that submarine, and nobody prayed to him. Nobody cried out and nobody prayed. And that's just what she was saying, was told to her about the situation. So yeah, so this just me and her just having an open conversation, our revelation or whatever, or what hope the revelation that was pertaining to that. That's all it is, Yeah. And that's all I gotta say on that. Yeah, but that, I guess, when you look at it, with him saying that nobody cried out, nobody prayed, that's really sad. It really becomes sad at that point. But you had so many people that were praying for them and were sending up prayers on their behalf. So I don't know if the intercession part, kind of overrode it. I do know the outcome of what's going on, but I'm just saying, with everything, it was still people intercessing and stuff, even though God said they never cried out to them. They never cried out themselves to him, and they never prayed to him. So that's what, there was just something that was just spoken, in the upper revelation, and it just made me just think, because God see everything. God see what don't nobody else see. God see it all. And some of us, we might be blindsided about what's really going on, but God, he know, and he gonna speak it for what it is. He gonna speak. He ain't coming with no false news and no all that fake news they be posting. God coming, he telling the truth. Like, he ain't coming with no half news, half right, half wrong, half truth, half lie type of news. He coming just 100%, raw and uncut about the whole situation. So that's what he was saying, dealing with that right there, and that's really just all I gotta say about the situation, really. Yeah. It just kind of sad. Everything just all kind of sad all together. But, doing the conversation out here with my daughter, because, like, I really do be talking to my daughter, like, trying to talk to her. After I tried to talk to my daughter, God stepped in and started talking revelations in the middle of our conversation. Like, he said this, he said that. Like, he do jump in the conversation like almost immediately. And that's what was said while I was just talking to her about we were saying some other stuff too, dealing with that, dealing with all that was going on. But that's all I'm gonna speak on, dealing with that. And yeah, y'all just enjoy y'all day. Have a good day. So yeah, so this is just what me and my daughter, our conversation, what we was having, and I'm just putting it out as allegedly. Allegedly. I have revelations. I have vision dreams. I'm 99% accurate. She had open revelations. But for those who listen or whatever, you know, do what you want to do with the information. So I'm throwing out there allegedly. You know, I'm pretty accurate. I'm still saying allegedly. You know. So yeah, so that's all I gotta say dealing with that. Yeah, it's just kind of sad. Just the whole thing, you know, and I don't think come to me is because you know God took my memory. So I don't really have the scripture, and he said that's okay. So he's not really pressed about me having to, thus said the Lord, this came out of this chapter, that kind. He ain't pressing the issue. But what's coming to me is about gaining the whole world to lose your soul. Like all those people, they was rich. All of them was filthy rich. Plenty of money. And nobody cried out to God. Nobody cried out to the living God. Nobody even prayed to the living God during that time. So it just made me think about that verse to, you know, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Like, what profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? So that's all I got to say on that right there. Again, it's just me just having an open conversation about the you know, based on just the information that been put out, stuff like that. Like, yeah. You know, people got a way of taking what you say and twisting it. So it just allegedly, just open conversation I was just having with my daughter. But I am prophetic. She's prophetic. I do have vision dreams. She do have revelations. Open revelations. And it's all allegedly. Just keep it like that. So yeah, I'm going to talk to y'all later.